Welcome to Bears Banter, where the Chicago Bears fan come to meet and talk about the Chicago Bears game. Another victory Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. Today on the broadcast, you have Keith Floydnoy, Guy Moore,
Hey,
Tammy Harris, Jay Beasley. How are you guys doing today?
Better.
Great.
I'm feeling
Great.
good.
Y'all feeling
I
Hey,
good?
take it.
hey,
I take it.
I'll take I'll take it. I'll take it.
Nothing like
I
a
will take
victory,
it.
right?
Yeah, nothing like a
Yeah,
victory. Victory is victory is good. We can break it down, but victory is good.
Like a good perfume, it covers up a whole lot, right?
All right, exactly. Exactly.
yeah. So we Chicago Bears win today 20 23-16. This was another one of those games that came down to the last possession. So let's go and get to the let's go to get to the meat of. I'm just gonna start off with our records right now. Tammy at 4-2, Jay at 3-3. I'm at 3-3. Hey Jay, we catching up.
We
Guys
catching up.
at
We'll get
4-2.
there. We'll get
and
there.
Plank is at Plank is at 4-2.
All right.
We'll get there.
Hey, let me go to this here. The first question I have on for today is, what do you think about Nagy's time management at end of games? Let's start off with you, Jay.
His time management sucked. Look, the bottom line is once you get the ball in that situation, they took off 15 seconds. Carolina had one timeout. You got to come out, and we sound like a broken record every week. Even if you're not gaining no yards, you still have to run the football to make them use that final timeout. So they came out and they ran it on first down and second down. Third down, I think I texted y'all like, okay, watch Nagy get cute. And of course he did.
Mm-hmm.
You stop the clock. So now you give them the ball back with a minute and I want to say some change and a timeout. And it's he did it last week and he did it again this week. It's just I don't know what it's gonna take for him to understand what clock management is at the end of a game when you lead. Your defense has put you in a position to win this game. And it's almost like you just trying to give it back. So his time management sucked today. Big time.
Okay. Hey, Tammy, you're up next.
Yeah, I agree with Jay. He did it 2 weeks in a row. Um, I don't know how you make it to be a coach at the NFL level and you don't know that incomplete passes stop the clock. I don't know how you do that. I mean, a high school coach knows that. A grammar school coach knows that. The little league, what do you call it? The not the my mind is on baseball. What do they call it in the neighborhood? Whatever the park,
the park district.
All right,
know that an incomplete pass stops the clock, so you just don't do it. I agree. His choices at the end of the game just don't make any sense whatsoever.
Okay, that's a great point. I want to, before I move on to the next person, I want to point out that if you're looking at the broadcast online, you'll see a code online that says StreamYard. If you'd like to join the broadcast online and share your comments or just share your celebration, you're welcome to do it because we actually have two guests that are waiting to come on. Keith, you're up next.
Wow. Nagy's time management. That was horrible. As Tammy and Jay said, a 15-second possession, especially when you think about it, this was right after running the ball within 2 minutes with Montgomery, who got a first down. So that gives you another opportunity to run some more clock. At that point, the most important thing isn't getting points; it's running the clock out. If you win in when the clock says 0-0, you're a great coach. Not
Exactly.
whether or not I can score 40 points. It seems like he's
Exactly.
still trying to play checkers. He's probably real good at checkers and connect four and those kind of things. But he has no chess skills, no strategic things whatsoever. So yeah, I'm upset at Nagy, and it's hard to watch.
Hey, Guy, you're next.
Because we have a show that could be densely populated with a younger contingency, I'll just do this. And y'all know what it is. saying that Nagy sucks or he was horrible or is terrible is a disrespect to those words because people that go under those monikers can be rehabilitated. The sad part about it is the fact that we look at night in and night out at like great teams. Like I remember one time I saw Drew Brees was on like his own 5-yard line with like 5 minutes left of the game and ran the clock all the way down to about 2 seconds to score. It was time management. Take your time. Just like Jay said, it's like, I don't know a team that wins Super Bowls or goes deep in the playoffs that would not run that ball. You even got a water boy sitting on here. It's like, dude, all you got to do is run the ball. That to me is that's going to be a thorn in our side. It looks great because with 5-1, it's not a big deal, but it'll show up when we start losing. But I give him, the 3 fingers, but you know.
And it's like even the commentators, Jonathan Vilma was so on point today. I'm starting to really like him. I'm really starting to like that brother. He was so on point today. And it was just like, he's like, Nagy, I don't understand what you're doing. Why you're not running the ball? I just don't get it, man. Once again, the 3rd straight week. If I think Foles had 39 pass attempts against a team. Well, I hold that thought. I'll hold that thought. As far as the running game, I'll hold that thought.
I just
Jay
brought
Mills
Jason
was a
Williams.
defensive player, so that's even
I just brought Jason. I just brought Jason Williams into the broadcast. This is one of the
What's up,
teams.
Jason?
Hey, Jason.
What's going on?
He was, for those who don't know, Jason played in the NFL for 6 years. Carolina Panthers was one of the teams that he played for a while. So with this question, I want him to chime in on about Nagy's time management. Also, if you could share with us as a player, how does do the players on the sideline, what are they thinking about when a game is kind of coming like this and you're like, coach, you have
what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I can speak from both sides of that. So one, being a linebacker and like actually being on the field, like me personally, I would applaud Nagy for doing that because like you give my offense more time once we get the ball back. But from on the other side of it, yeah, like there's plenty of times like we're on the sidelines having our own conversations, wondering like what the heck we're doing. Like nothing at all that you're doing makes sense right now. So yeah, like, I can see it from both sides. Because I've been on both sides of it. Yeah, like nothing about his all right, that's my.
That's all right. It happens.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, nothing about anything he did made sense at all from a time management standpoint. Like at that point, like that's grind time. Like you supposed to do all to your best guy. You don't keep doing the clock.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna add Truck to the broadcast. I know Truck gonna be like fire Nagy. Hey Truck, the question. Hey Truck, we got you on the broadcast. What do you think about Nagy's time management at the end of games? Because this is about the 2nd or 3rd week we're talking about the same thing.
Hey,
and you know what? Like you already heard what I had to say about Nagy. So, I think he might be a great guy, but I don't think he's the right coach for the Bears, man. Real talk. I mean, and you can say he got a winning record and all that, but I just don't think he's the right coach for the Bears.
Okay.
The time management. I mean, come on, man. Hey. Like we all know, you got to run the rock. At the end of the game, you got to run the rock. Straight up.
Okay.
I mean, that's just what it is.
Okay.
Well, first of all, Bernard, I disagree with you, Truck. I think you're thinking about objectives versus strategy. Those are 2 entirely different things. The objective is always to win the game, period.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you got a coach that's winning the game, they're going to keep him, regardless of what his strategy is. Sometimes strategy doesn't work out the way you expect. Go ahead.
Right. So what we going to do? We're going to move to the next. We're going to move to the next question on the thing is the Bears. Why can't the Bears run the ball effectively? I know this is a victory. I know this is a victory. I don't want people out there watching to think we think the Bears didn't win. We know the Bears
We
won.
don't care. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care.
But
Let's get
the
to the
purpose
root
of
of the
this show,
problem.
Right.
the purpose of this show is we're breaking down from a fan's point of view critical things that we see in this game because this is week 6 and this is another game that almost came down to the last drive again where it shouldn't be the case. So why can't the Bears run the ball effectively? I'll start off first on that one. I think there's not enough commitment to run. I think just because you run to get 1 yard, that doesn't mean you can't run the second time and you may get 6 or 7. We
Right.
just looked
Right.
at the Titans running back today. He broke what a 93 or 94 yarder today. So it only takes it only takes one run, but you can't have your linemen's pass blocking. Then all of a sudden you call a run play, and what I'm starting to notice, I believe, is there's a pattern other than it's always on first down and they're always under center. But I think it's every 8 to 9 plays the Bears run. And if that's a pattern, if I can kind of see that pattern, people who look in that game film will figure that out. They got your formation, etc. So I start out with you, Guy. Why can't the Bears run the ball effectively?
Beats me. No, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. This is interesting. And Tammy brought this out a couple of episodes ago about our identity. Our identity was his defense and running the ball. And you would think that in our history, in our long history of a team, we've never had the great quarterback. But when we didn't have the great quarterback, even when we had mediocre teams, we were able to run the ball. It's just like the whole big piece of the puzzle was kind of hard to figure out, but we've always been able to run a ball. One, I think a lot of it is guys just from a psychological standpoint, with any position that you have, you got to believe that, hey, I'm going to dominate this dude. And you just can't go out there just to do it, just a matter of repetitions, because it don't always work. Because every time you get on that line, you're going to run into some dude that basically looking at you like, if I don't get this quarterback, my family not going to eat. You got to have that killer mentality. We run these different blocks, like you talk about the jet sweep. You look at every other team that runs the jet sweep, they get a minimum of 5-6 yards. We run a jet sweep. By the time Patterson gets the ball, it's a dude standing like, come on, I'm waiting for you. So, yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with just not a commitment or just the lack of focus with the offensive line.
Okay, hey, Jay, what's your take on that?
I am convinced the Bears offensive line is just bad. I'm sorry. I really tried to give them a little leeway. The last couple of weeks, they played the Bucs, they played the Colts. We'll talk about the Colts in a minute. They ain't really all that good like we said they was. But I'm just convinced. Our offensive line is bad. Charles Leno Jr., he's a nice kid. I met him before. He cool. But I'm going to tell you something. He's bad. Rashad Coward, who I told y'all was going to start, it's almost like I would have rather seen Alex Barnes today. Our offensive line is bad. And for a team to be giving up 5.4 yards a carry and we can't run the ball, is just a sign that our offensive line is bad. And it goes, again, like what y'all was saying, a commitment to the run as well. Yep. Because it's almost like when offensive linemen get into that scheme where they pass by 8, 9, 10 plays in a row. Now they got to get grimy and run block. It's just not a pattern for success. But the bottom line is our offensive line is bad. It's bad.
Okay. Hey, what I'm going to do, hold tight, Tammy and Plank. I want to pick Jason's brain on why the Bears can't run effectively, and if he could just kind of tell us from a defensive point of view of what does he see of why they can't run effectively.
Um, I can tell you from a defensive standpoint, but it really doesn't matter. The Bears don't want to run the ball, plain and simple. That's kind of what
Right.
it is. The NFL running the ball is more of a mindset. So Nagy is more of a
Yep.
finesse guy. He wants to be finesse. He wants to be cute. He wants to be pretty. He doesn't want to get down. He doesn't want to get dirty. He doesn't want guys getting in that mud, fighting in the trenches. That's not what he does. And because he doesn't have that mindset and that philosophy, it's not going to carry over to his team. So he's not a tough, hard-nosed coach, so you're not going to have a tough, hard-nosed team. So because the coach wants to be finesse and be pretty, that's why the running game sucks because like they're not bred to do it. So it's not going to carry over. Like he doesn't preach them getting down and just fighting every single down. He wants to trick you. He wants to dig your dunk all the way downfield. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to run the ball. So from a defensive standpoint, going into a game, if I know that you don't want to run the ball, I'm going to be on my heels the entire time because I don't have to come downhill because I know you're not going to run the ball. And if you do, their O-line is slightly above average, but nowhere near being elite. So like even if I do get a false
They're
read,
not even
I'm not worried about the
average.
run game beating me at all.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Tammy, why do you think? Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Hey, Tammy, why can't the Bears run the ball effectively?
But I just want to say, this is Chicago. We ain't pretty. Like we're the monsters of the Midwest. So getting down and dirty is what we're supposed to do. Although we've always done it in a very sportsmanlike manner. That's one thing I do like about us. We ain't dirty like that other team. What this year reminds me, I agree with Jay. The offensive line sucks, but this is not the first time in our history where we've had an offensive line that was less than adequate, and we were still able to effectively run the ball.
Because we was committed.
We have two. We have at
We
least
was
two
committed.
solid tight ends, and we have a potential, an effective running back in Montgomery, and they're just not utilizing him. And I cannot say that I know all the reasons why, at all. But I mean, I do think that Jason has a point. It probably is, I was going to say it was with the coaching. I wasn't necessarily going to say it the way that he said it, but I mean, I agree with him. He wants it to look a certain way versus to just be down, dirty, aggressive, and rough, just, run the ball. So, I mean, I would agree, but I think it's in the coaching because the offensive line may suck, but it's not the first time we've had an offensive line that wasn't great.
Okay.
Good point.
Good point.
Plank, you're
Okay.
next.
Yeah, I mirror everything everybody else is saying about commitment to the run. But, basically, I'm upset because Reeve Sorey, Noah Jackson, they not blocking well. Roland Harper can't. I'm sorry, that's the old Bears. I have no idea. I have no idea who the guys on the offensive line
Damn
are.
chickens.
So they blocking just as good as I am, and I'm sitting in my basement. So I'm a little upset about the offensive line. It seems like as a professionals, they're not committed to getting the tough yards. They're not committed to kind of putting the team on your back and saying, now I've been doing all this pass blocking. It's time to fire off and put somebody in the dirt. They instead want to, be pretty boys and kind of do some finesse things, and that's not going to work in all game situations. So what everybody else said, it's about commitment to the run and just having a little bit more heart and showing that you're gonna hit somebody in the mouth, MOUF.
Okay.
So
But if you're scared to hit somebody in the mouth, take the pancake. Just fall down and knock two dudes down and let somebody else make the play. I'm just saying.
there you
So,
go.
our next question today: what are the positives that you saw from the Bears' offense today, and can they build on it? And then the last one, we'll come back to how you grade them. Hey, Troy, we start with you.
Uh, I mean, I don't know if I really saw a positive. I mean, they did what they was going to do, but hey, I've been a Bears fan for 50 years, and my whole thing was run the ball, play great defense, and pass when you got to. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if you ain't running the ball, I mean, what you doing? And what Plank just said, that's why I love Plank.
Hey, thanks, Truck. Guy, you're up next.
You know, Johnny, the Bears. Hold on a second. Some genius decided he wanted to call me during the broadcast. But as I said, you know how you would look at games and you would be like, "Man, it's third down. Can we make it?" They were actually effectively moving the ball, and it was like a few plays where Foles made, and they got first downs. I'm like, really? So it seems like he's kind of getting a little more acclimated to the personnel now, and I think he's rep ready now. So I mean, he made some mistakes, but the positive part about it was they've moved the ball better than I've seen them move in a long time, consistently, somewhat. So their offense today, I'll give them a C plus.
Okay, you give him a C plus. Hey, you're up next, Keith.
Okay.
What
As
question down
the positive that I saw from the Bears offense, one big positive was Mooney. That rookie is really showing me a lot of things. He,
Yep.
he made a lot of good
Jesus.
catches.
I told
Ran
y'all.
some
Oh
really
my
great routes.
God.
As a matter of fact, I gotta take hats off to all the rookies today. I think the rookies really showed up, and it bodes well for the future. Komet got his first touchdown. Johnson kind of held his own out there, and as I said before about Mooney, he looks like he's going to be a beast. Positively, I think we've got Montgomery out there fighting for every yard,
Yeah.
and he's a pretty tough guy. It's a little disconcerting when he ends up getting a couple first downs by himself, basically
Mhm.
within 2 minutes, and they still aren't committed to the run right after that. So I think the best thing we can do to make the offense better is to kind of change the plays and get Nagy out of his own way. I know everybody's mirroring the same thing, but I absolutely agree with you.
there. Okay. Who's up next? Where we at? Jay, you're up next.
Y'all know I'm real critical.
A little bit.
I really didn't see no positives in the Bears offense today. I'm sorry. Y'all know me. I'm sorry. I will reiterate what Keith said about Darnell Mooney. I told y'all Mooney gonna be a stud, but I really didn't see no positives because, again, you got a team. Well, you got a team that's giving up 5.4 yards to carry, and you can't run the football. I don't see anything positive about that. Even Streaky Foles is what we call him. Just like Pretty Ricky, Streaky Foles is what we call him. He went on the run. I think he was 11 for 13 in the first half, or 11 for 14 or something like that. Then he went 3 for 11, and then the last two drives he went 6 for 7. I mean, I don't. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm glad they won. I'm glad they won, but I didn't see nothing different. If it wasn't for our defense, we would have not won this game. So I don't see any difference. So if you want to ask what can they build on, I don't see anything that they did today that they can build on that they've been doing every week and be like, okay, we're going to build on this. We're going to build on this. I didn't see that. It was the same thing. So to get them a grade,
Right.
I give them a C minus. Just because
Okay.
they won,
A C
I
minus.
give them a C minus. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. What I saw today on the Bears offense, I saw them get two short fields from turnovers that actually led
Scrimmage.
to two touchdowns. Those were the only two touchdowns in the game. The rest
Right.
of the time when they had the ball on offense, they only converted with field goals, which is kind of the same thing. The positive I did see from the offense today, they finally scored in the third quarter. They was
Yes.
and not scored in the
Finally.
third quarter. And they was trying to find a way not to score in the third quarter too. I mean, they was kind of self-destructing a little bit in the third quarter. But that is the one positive I saw is that they finally scored in the third quarter, and I thought they had some chemistry where Dick Foles did take some of the check downs, but I still have a problem with play calling. I still have a problem with consistency. I have problems with time management by the coach. These games should not be going down to that. Like that last series, there's no reason he should not have ran on third down. He should have ran that ball again. At least even the commentator said it. Forced them to use that timeout. At a minimum, you let them go with a possession after you punt where they still have a timeout. Guy, you're up next.
Oh, I went already.
Oh, you went? Okay. Who didn't go?
It's Tammy.
Tammy.
Tammy. Okay, sorry, Tammy. There you are.
Well, I'm going to respectfully disagree with Jay just a little bit.
Okay.
I do think that while I do agree that on a team that is 25th with stopping the run, we should have ran the ball better. What I will say that was positive about the offense is that they put us in a position to score, even though it wasn't always 4-6. They put us in a position to score. They moved the ball better. They converted better on third down. And I think the issues still really are with the play calling. And I'm going to say it's kind of like with this country and the troops. Like, I support the troops, even though I don't like the head of this government. You know, I support the players 100%. I think the players got heart. I think they're in it to win it. I think they are trying. I think they are trying their best with the tools that they are given. And even though sometimes, you know, you feel like you got to follow an idiot, you don't agree with it. I feel like they putting everything into it. So what I think the offense did positively was I think all of the players were 100% on offense and defense committed to winning the game with the tools that they were given. I just think they need better play calling. And I would give them a C+ like I did.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, right down at the bottom of the screen for those who are watching online, you can see the information for Tammy's new CD release. There's a couple of websites where you can see that it's available that you could get it. One of them is www.rootssoulproduction.com. So I think everybody answered that question. We're going to move to the other side of the field.
Don't forget to give some credit to that Santos. I don't know who that other kicker is. I don't want to see him.
Eddie Pinero.
He can stay on injured reserve. I'll take Santos.
Yeah. He actually showed up today. He showed up today.
He showed it.
Showed up today.
Yep.
So hey, we're gonna get to the side of the ball that Plank loves and Jason loves, defense. Yeah, defense.
All right.
I thought the defense played a hell of a game today. I mean, there was a few penalties that kind of set them back, but I thought they got after TD. They got him off his spot. They put pressure on him. They had a few knockdown passes. They did a good job in the run game. I thought the defense was the best unit today, other than the kicker. So, what I want to bring up, I want to bring Jay in real quick. And Jay, can you tell us about defense look and also your perspective on the linebacker play?
All right. I'm still kind of like digesting everything I saw today. Defensively as a whole, looks like they played really good. I don't think they showed up as much as they should have or they were capable to in the run game. The run game really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know if it was a scheme thing but I saw a lot of linebackers wrong gaps, backdoor and stuff they shouldn't have done, and actually like putting more trust in their own defense than it was necessary. So as far as the linebackers go, as far as the run game is concerned, I'll give them a C+, maybe. As far as pass coverage goes, they both coverage linebackers, so they were really good in the pass game. I was really impressed by how they played in the pass game today. But yeah, the run game was the only thing that kind of, like I said, went the wrong way today. Like they didn't show when it came time to stop and run.
Okay, thank you for your perspective. Hey, I'm going to go across the screen, and we're going to start off with Tammy. How did the Bears defense look, and how do you grade it?
I think the Bears defense did a great job today. I think they shut down the passing game. As I think that was one thing I said. Well, I wasn't on the pregame thing, but it was one thing I put in my text that they needed to kind of shut down the passing game of the Panthers, which I feel like they did to a degree because they did it when it mattered. Even though they had a lot of passing yards, they weren't necessarily as effective as they usually are. So I think the defense did a good job with that. We got a couple of critical turnovers, when we needed them. So they put pressure. They sacked him how many times?
Four.
4 times. So they put pressure on the Panthers. I think they did a good job, and they showed up when we needed them to, and they saved the game, like they pretty much have been all along. So, I mean, I give the defense an A. I would like to see some better tackling still, but they were better. They were in there, but now they just need to be consistent. But the defense showed up to me.
Okay, defense showed up. Hey, Guy, you're up next.
Well, once again, of course, I think that phone call that I put in the DCFS for Danny Trevathan, it lit a fire under him. This brother had 10 tackles with 6 solo. Roquan had 12 with 7 solo. I think they did really good. The funny part about it, though, was something I looked at was in the second quarter, towards the second quarter, Carolina already had like 60-something rushing yards. I'm like, man, what's up with that? But once again, you tell me a guy who completes 73% of his passes and only gets like 55%, you sack him 2 or 3 times, you start the game by picking him off, you end the game by picking him off, and I'm going to probably give them a B minus, and the only reason why is there's a couple plays that our secondary got burned on, but it's not like a thorn in the side type deal. I think they did pretty good, but as I said before, one of these days they're not going to play so well, and I don't even want to think about that one.
Hey, Jay, you're up next.
I think the defense played well today. To me, they set the tone at the start of the game. When they almost had the safety, I want to say that was the first play or maybe the second play of the game, they actually set the tone. And that's when they got the first interception, the Gibson interception. They played well today. They kind of, I don't put a whole lot of stock on it because the running back, he had a little vendetta, so he was running a little extra hard today against his former team. But overall, 4 sacks, 3 takeaways. I think they played really well. I would give them a B plus because I think they really played well. Pagano dialed up a little pressure in certain series where it actually proved to, put some pressure on Teddy Bridgewater. So overall, I give them a B plus. I think they played well today. I think this was their best defensive game, if you ask me. Minus the penalties in the secondary, which that call on Jalen Johnson was really, really questionable.
It was.
I think they played their best defensive game today.
Okay. Yeah, we were trying to find that video of the Jalen Johnson's PI so we could review it, but we couldn't find it online yet. Keith, you up next.
Okay. I'm going to give the defense an A. First of all, if you hold a team to 16 points in the NFL,
That's true.
That absolutely puts you in a position to win.
That's true.
We're talking about 4 sacks, so 2 by interior linemen, Nichols and Edwards Jr., Mack and Mingo got the other 2 sacks, 3 turnovers. So we forced a fumble. We got 2 interceptions. Whoever this Houston Carson is, we need to see him out on the field a whole lot more. He didn't play maybe. What, he played 3 plays this year, and he got 2 interceptions in those 3 plays.
Yeah.
And Fuller is turning into a complete beast. I didn't see this guy coming out as aggressively he is with his physicality and his intimidation. He is starting to bring the wood on some people. So, from a defensive standpoint, again, because we talked about 16 points in an NFL game and a win, I got to give him an A.
Okay. Yeah, I give the defense an A today. I thought they played really well. They got sacks. Like I said, they got after the quarterback. That PI, I thought that was. I didn't see that. I didn't see
That was
that.
so questionable. It was
Yeah,
so
that was so
questionable.
questionable. It
So
almost looked like
questionable.
the offensive receiver was more so putting his arm in there
Because
to
because
create
to me,
the PI.
right, because to me, if you going down the field hand fighting, you hand fighting, and then you turn around and you look for the ball. I mean, I have an opportunity to catch this ball just as much as you do.
Right.
So it's almost like, where's the flag coming from? But again, I've said it before. I feel like pass interference in the NFL is like a foul in the NBA. Don't nobody know what it is, and that's just the bottom line.
Okay.
It's also
Hey, we
like
wrap.
it's also. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, guys. We're just moving towards closing out in the next 3 minutes, and we
Okay,
move
just
into.
real quick. It's just like a baseball pitch. Like I was saying, in baseball, like the ump's calling the corner through the whole game. You're gonna be consistent, but you call the corner on them and not us because Allen Robinson got a pass interference, and they didn't call that one, and that was
Yep.
worse than the one that he
That
did.
was the
And I'm
worst
like,
one that
okay,
David Johnson had. Yep.
either call them both or don't call them at all. That's what I was
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, well, you know what? What we haven't said today is pay Allen Robinson his money. Pay that
man.
Pay that man his money. Even if he only had 53 yards today, he still is a stud.
Yeah, pay that man his money. That
And
man, he balling out still. You know.
I swear, every time he catch a pass from Nick Foles, when he be trying to thread these tight windows, I be like, Allen, get up, please don't get hurt, please don't get hurt, please don't get hurt.
Right.
Pay this man his money.
Yes.
Pay this man his money.
Show him the monies.
Yeah. Hey, so we the last question of the day is, how do you grade the coaching overall today? We start with you, Tammy.
C minus. C minus. Just run the freaking ball sometimes. Like the passing game was effective today. It put us in a position to score. We got enough done, but the history of the Bears is their passing game is not, consistently effective. It's spotty. So they can't be one-dimensional and rely on their passing game. We never have been able to do that. So the run game this year is like reminding me of how like the defense was. I don't know if it was like 6-7 years ago when they just weren't showing up. And it was like horrible. And I was like, who is this team on the field? Like our defense was like non-existent. Was that 7 years ago? 6-7 years ago?
No, that was more like 5 years ago when they gave
Was
us
it 5 years ago?
They gave us that double 55.
That's what, like, us not being able to run, to me, is like as bad as the defense was like 5 years ago. Like I really tried. I was in this group of people. We actually tried to get a billboard up to tell Virginia and her kids to sell the team, but we tried to take out a full page ad in the Tribune to tell them to do it, but the Tribune wouldn't do it because they owned by the family. Like they just like wouldn't take our. We had the money raised. We were willing to pay a lot. Like just sell the freaking team because y'all don't know what y'all doing. Like that's how I feel. Like run the ball.
Hey,
like,
what was your
that's what
grade,
they need to do. They can't be one dimensional because we are not a consistently good passing team. So
okay. What was your grade?
C minus.
C minus. Okay. Hey, Jay, you're up next.
I give him a C. Y'all know me. I like Coach Nagy. I really do. I think he's a hell of a head coach. But again, his play calling is leaving something to be desired, man. So I would give overall coaching. If I had to break them down, I give Pagano a B, like I gave the defense, and I had to give Coach Nagy a C minus, because it's not what he's thinking is not showing up on the field. And until it shows up on the field and he get consistent with his play calling, it's gonna be what it is. It's gonna be what it is. We should have had 30 points in the first half. We should have had 30 points in the first half. So I give him a C minus, and I give Pagano a B.
Okay. Hey, Plank, how you grade the coaching today?
Okay, I'll give Pagano an A because I think they did well, even though they never did really figure out DJ Moore. Offensive line coach has got to have a D. Although they didn't give up very many sacks, so I might have to rethink that. Maybe we change that to a C minus. Nagy is again, being in his own way, so that's what's bringing the grade down as well. But special teams, they also did well. So overall, I'm gonna give the Bears a B minus, with again Nagy and that offensive line play bringing the entire score down.
Okay, hey, Guy, you're up next. We're going to wrap this up in the next 55 seconds or so.
Okay. Defense, got to give him a coach. Got to give him a Nagy. I give him a C. Special teams, I got to give a B. I give an overall grade of a B. Regardless of some of the shortcomings, they all brought together and they got that W.
Good point,
Hey,
guys.
Jason. Hey, you got the last word on how you grade the coaching today.
All right, so much pressure. All right, give him a C. I can see what Nagy's trying to do, and I think slowly but surely, like they're gonna start, like catching that stride. He's starting to trust Foles a lot more and open up their playbook a little bit more, and giving Foles more control over like what's being called and how things are being called, which I like. Defensively, gotta give him a B. Pagano came in with a really good game plan. There were a lot of like blown coverages on the back end, and the run game, like I said, like really just didn't satisfy me. They didn't put a run well enough for me today, so I'm gonna give the defense a B.
Okay. Hey, thank you, Jason. So today we have on. We'd like to thank our guests for coming on today. Special guest Jason Williams coming on today.
Good job,
and giving
Jason.
us professional analysis. I'd like to thank our guest Truck Royce Jackson for coming on and adding his opinion. And I'd like to thank my co-hosts, all of them: Keith Flournoy, Guy Moore, Jay Beasley, Tammy Harris. Hey, we're getting for the pregame show. The next game is against the Rams. That's a Monday night game.
Monday night, yeah.
Monday night game. So do y'all want to do the pregame on Sunday or Saturday? We'll talk about it off air. But thank everybody for tuning in to Bears Banter. Another victory Sunday.
5-1.
I take it.
5-1.